Let's do it. Let's get right into it. First, as always, we have to thank our sponsor, Snoqualmie Casino. Want more information? snocasino.com, and they got you. I've been to Snoqualmie Casino. We did Hawks Live there last year. This year, due to COVID, we had to do it from the stadium. But I've been there. Great establishment. Got a lot of things to do. Check them out, Snoqualmie Casino. The closest casino to Seattle. All right? So now, let's get right into it. These Hawks beat the Washington football team 20-15. Let's go through the stats real quick. Russell Wilson was 18-27, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. When it came to the run game, they rushed for 181 yards as a team. Chris Carson had 63 yards. Carlos Hyde had 55. A long run of 50, which was beautiful to watch go down. Russell had 6 carries for 52 yards. He had a long of 38. They kind of got this offense going that second half. What up, everybody that's just joining in? And also, Debo had 1 carry for 5 yards. It seems like they always find ways to get Debo in the mix. All right, let's catch up on the wide receivers and what they did as far as receptions and tight ends and all that good stuff. All right, Dk Metcalf had 5 for 43 yards on 6 targets. Tyler Lockett had 4 for 34 yards on 7 targets. Jacob Hollister, 2 for 17, the lone throwing touchdown. D-Mo had 2 for 10. Carlos Hyde had 2 for 8. Chris Carson, 2 for 6. And Freddie Swain, 1 for 3. I know people are like, oh, Freddie Swain, man, this guy, I think he's going to play a mix in this thing. I think next year is going to be a breakout. But we're focused on this year. Let's look at this defense. DJ Reed had an interception. That's his 2nd interception as a Hawk. This guy plays right corner. He plays left corner. He plays nickel. He does punt returns. Whatever you need DJ to do, DJ will do. Okay? You guys remember that song? Lil Wayne, go DJ. That's my DJ. That's what I think about when I think of DJ. All right. Bobby Wags led the team with 13 tackles. Jamal Adams had 9 tackles, and he had another sack. That's 9.5 sacks for the safety. He continues to pile up that record. Okay. KJ Wright had 8. People don't talk about KJ Wright enough. KJ Wright had 8 tackles. He's been so solid these past couple of years, man. Shaq had 4. Quandre Diggs had 4. Puna had 4. Allen Robinson had 3. LJ had 2. So let's just talk about the overall view of this game. Now, you could look at the score and say, oh, they only beat them 20-15. Oh, they came back in the second half. They couldn't get things done. Must I remind you? Let me go to my notes. Must I remind you? This was a very good defense that they played against. Okay? Very good defense. This defense was ranked 4th overall. 9th versus the rush. 3rd versus the pass. And 6th when it comes to points allowed. They only allowed 21 points per game. Meaning the Hawks scored 20, meaning that the Washington football team did exactly what they were supposed to do. This is a good football team. Offensively is where they struggle. The Washington football team is ranked 30th overall, 24th when it comes to running the football, 26th when it comes to passing, 24th when it comes to giving up points. So in my opinion, okay, the Hawks did exactly what they were supposed to do. They didn't have the offensive production that you're used to seeing. Well, honestly, we haven't seen a lot of production when it comes to points over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, not 3 or 4 games. All right, the defense is catching up in the league. It's not just with the Seattle Seahawks. It is across the league. So let's go to Russell Wilson. You're going to critique Russell Wilson. What is he doing? He's playing conservative. He's not throwing touchdowns. He did throw 1 touchdown, which was a dart to Jacob Hollister. Jacob ran what we call like a stick route. You get into the end zone, you turn around. Russell threw a strike, put it right on his numbers. Now the pick, it's just a better play by Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat, that is the only time we called his name Montez Sweat. Must I remind you, best defensive line in the league, Montez Sweat, 7.5 sacks. Chase Young, 5.5 sacks. You got Jonathan Allen. You got Deron Payne. You have the veteran Kerrigan with 5.5 sacks. This is a very good football team. You got the linebacker Bosing as well. You have Kendall Fuller on the outside with 4 interceptions. You have Darby on the other side. If you don't know these names, look these names up. This is a good football team. And I think the Washington football team is going to get better years to come. 2 or 3 years, this is going to be a team that you are going to have to respect. First half, Hawks come out, things look good. They're moving the football. There's creativity with the offensive play calling. Things feel like they're going to be okay. The second half, they come out that first drive, boom, big run by Russell Wilson, get them down the field, they score. After that, things kind of stalled out. What happened, you ask? I'll tell you what I think happened. I think that the Washington football team made some good adjustments. From now on, teams are not going to allow the Seattle Seahawks to throw the ball deep. That's just not what they're going to do. They're going to take a note from the Giants defense and say, look, let's play too high. All right, let's play two-man. Have some help over the top. Make these receivers beat you. And every now and then you're going to blitz. You're going to take your chances. But we're going to see more of this. This is a good defense. Thankfully, this is a warm-up for next week, the Rams. But we're not going to focus on them yet. We're going to save that for Thursdays. I will definitely be here Thursdays because my schedule has changed a bit. Okay? But you look at, it's a tale of two halves. And then on the flip side, you look at Haskins. First half, he looks like the quarterback that we have known and loved the past year and a half. He looked like a guy who couldn't complete the football, who wasn't very accurate, who wasn't making great decisions. But you know what happens? You go in at halftime, you talk to your coaches, and as a quarterback, you settle down. The game starts slowing down for you. By the third or fourth quarter, you start seeing tendencies. You read body language of safeties and corners and linebackers. And you start to believe in what you're seeing. And I think that's what we saw. Now, the Hawks have never been a really aggressive team when it comes to pressure on the outside. They're going to give you a 5 or 6 yard cushion. That's just what they're going to do. And I think Haskins took advantage of that. When you play zone, there's always gaps in the zone. If you can be on time, if you can manipulate a defense with play action, with a quarterback, if you can manipulate them with your eyes, things are going to open up. There's always an offense to beat a defense. There's always a defense to beat an offense. That's what's beautiful about football. You're going to go back and forth and figure some things out. And I think Dwayne Haskins started to figure some things out. He was 38 of 55, 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. As far as running the football, Washington football team, 20 carries for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. Your boy J.D. McKissick made an appearance. J.D., we love you. Seahawk days. But glad he didn't really ball out against the Seahawks. Now, where the Seahawks did get gashed a bit, Logan Thomas, that tight end, had a great day. 13 catches, 101 yards, no touchdowns though. The one passing touchdown was to J.D. McKissick. Good for him. Big ups. Glad you didn't beat us. But Logan Thomas, and we've seen the Hawks struggle at times with tight ends. And I've been asked that question, why do the Hawks struggle with tight ends? I'll tell you why. I wouldn't even call it a struggle. I would just call it like they have more success. Tight ends against the Seattle defense. It's all because of the defense that they run. It's cover 3. Cover 3. And if you know anything about cover 3, you got 3D. You got outside backers and safety who have the flats. Guys patrolling the middle. The weakness is up the seams. Up the seams. So if you are, say you're in a high school football field, those wide hashes, seams right there. That's where tight ends really get their money, there and working across the middle of the field. And I think the Hawks are okay with that. They're like, look, if a tight end is beating you up the seams, that just means there aren't any really big plays. The biggest play for the Washington football team as far as the pass game when it comes to tight ends was a 20-yard play. That's it. McLaurin, who I think is a very good receiver, had 7 catches for 77 yards along of 30. That was later in the game when things start to loosen up. Positives. This defense came to play, especially late in the ball game. You got a sack by L.J. Collier. Benson Mayowa gets in the mix. You got the guy who sealed the deal, Carlos Dunlap, who gets after the quarterback. The play that Carlos Dunlap made to get after the quarterback was beautiful. It was nothing special. It was not like he was smarter than the tackle. It was not like he did something spectacular. What he did was say, look, I'm a grown man. I'm going to put my hands on you. I'm going to drive you to the ground. I'm going to jump over you, get after the quarterback, get a sack, and then I'm going to somersault out of that thing, throw my hands up, and lock it down. One play that bothered me during that final drive, KJ Wright. It's so hard to play defense in the NFL right now. It is so difficult to play defense. I'm a receiver, and I'm telling you that it's difficult. Receiver catches the ball. He's going down to the ground. KJ knows he's close to the first down marker. He has to make this tackle. You can't just lay him down. Can't just lay him down and let him do his thing. What up, dumb truck? Can't just lay him down. He's got to hit him. He has to protect the first down marker. Doesn't lead with his head, leads with his shoulder. But because the receiver is going downhill and he's leading with his helmet, KJ doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, and they throw a flag on him, which is frustrating. What do they want these guys to do? You might also put flags on them, call it 7-on-7, call it touch, whatever you want to do. It was just a horrible call, and I don't know what else this man could do to save himself from that situation. There's nothing he could do, honestly, unless he just lets him catch the ball, lays him down, picks him up, asks him if he's okay, and then get on to the next play. But you need your defense to be aggressive. I'm not mad at that. Now, we got some bad news today with Josh Gordon apparently not satisfying all of his protocols, whatever that means. Josh Gordon is not going to be available. We thought he was going to be this weekend, but that's not going to happen. I think they'll be fine without him, but sad news for the guy, rooting for him. We know he's had his issues. I think he's turning the corner. Unfortunate. All right, what else we got from this game? Any other stories we got from this game? Let me check my lovely notes. I take a lot of notes during the football game. If you guys can see, look, this is my notepad during the game. Like, my notes are everywhere. Always taking notes, trying to make sure I give you guys the best review that I can give you. The Hawks' longest drive was 10 plays, 97 yards, where they threw the ball 4 times and passed the ball 6 times. There was so much balance in this game. If you look at Russell Wilson's attempts, 27 pass attempts to 26 rush attempts. That's almost as balanced as it gets. Now, a lot of these attempts from Russell Wilson were scrambles. They're not designed. He had 6 of them. So if you take away his 6 scrambles, 20 to 27, this is the kind of football that I think the Hawks want to play. I spoke to Pete Carroll on Monday. He goes, look, this is the game we thought it was going to be. Teams look at just the Washington football team, and you think of the team from like 4-5 years ago to where they don't have a quarterback. They're not putting up points. This isn't that football team. Like I mentioned earlier, this team is going to be good. They're going to be good. All right? Now, here's your time to shine. What questions do you have for your boy? Let's get it. I'm going to go up to closer to the beginning and see if we had any early ones. Any early questions? What we got? Nothing yet. All right, we're going back down to the bottom. Questions. Did Freddie Swain make that catch? No, he didn't. He didn't make the catch. If he had possession of the football, if he already had possession of the football, and then he crosses the pylon out of bounds, then it's different. But he is catching a football and then stepping out of bounds past the pylon. We looked up the rules as a pre and post game staff while we were there. It's not a catch. It was a good catch, but it wasn't an official catch because he was out of bounds. What else we got? This is from Johnny. Johnny.action. What's up, man? Why is the offense regressing? Gonna need more than 20 versus the rest. Are they gonna need more than 20? Are they? You know what they're going to need? One more point than the Rams, right? Such an a-hole. That's right. All right, they're going to need one more point than the Rams. Are they regressing, or are teams figuring them out, or are they playing conservatives? There's a lot of questions right there. I think at times they're playing more conservative because they don't feel they need Russell Wilson to throw for 350, 400 yards for them to win ball games. They feel like they have a defense that can get it done. I also feel like because Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, Rashad Penny are healthy, they're going to try to work this run game. It's a marathon, right? Not a sprint. The marathon tells you, get these touches. Hand the ball off because you are going to need a successful run game when you make these runs into the playoffs. Now, as far as Russell Wilson, you can look at his numbers and say, oh, but he's turned the football over. He is turning the football over. He is. He's turned it over a lot over the past 5 weeks. A lot of those are him giving his receivers opportunities to make plays on the football, and defense just makes a play. That interception last week, that wasn't on him. I think he made the right decision. Montez Sweat just made a better play. So I would say they need at least 25, though. 25, and they should win this ball game. You got to remember, too, man, last time they played, who wasn't healthy? Chris Carson wasn't healthy. Shaquille Griffin wasn't healthy. There were several other guys who weren't out there. So they're catching the Rams at the right time. The Rams is coming off a loss to the worst team in the NFL right now, the Jets. We'll see how they respond. Okay, Neo97. What happened to Tyler Lockett? It seems like ever since that 200-yard game that he's kind of phased off a bit. 2 ways you can look at this. Hawks not trying to get him the football, or teams are taking him away. Where does Tyler Lockett get most of his yards? Where does he eat the most? Crossing routes. Okay, and how do you combat a crossing route? You jam him off the line of scrimmage. You touch him as he's crossing the field. You pass him off, and you ride him. Ride him, pass him off. Ride him, pass him off. That's what I'm seeing from other teams. I think he's due, though. I think he's due. I really do. With DK getting the attention that he gets, with the run game being effective, now the tight ends are getting involved as well. It's time for Tyler Lockett to do what he do, baby. And I think that he will have a game. Now, what's a game, though? Doesn't mean he's going to have 200 yards like against the Arizona Cardinals. A game to me means he has 80 yards, 6 catches, maybe a touchdown. That's all you need from him. What I do want is for him to get at least 80 yards within these next 2 weeks so he can have 1,000 yards and Hawks can have 2,000 yards receivers since back in the day. That's what I want. I think Tyler Lockett is still there. He still has just as many targets as DK. I just think the big plays have been limited overall these past few weeks. This football team has to be okay with grinding it out 3-4 yards. Boom. Pop one for 10 or 12. Now, you notice 2 big plays last week. You need those plays. You need that run by Russell Wilson. You need that run by Carlos Hyde. If this team can produce 4 big plays a game, they have a chance. All right. How do you think Alton has done this season? I think he's done good. I think Alton Robinson has done good, man. Let me look at his stats. He's been working out with Cliff Averill, the legend. I've had the opportunity of speaking to Cliff a few times, man. Cliff is a solid dude, knows what he's talking about. And he's working with Alton Robinson. Let me look at this depth chart real quick. All right, and we can click on. But no, I think Alton's done a great job. He got in on a couple of plays last week, I believe. But I think Alton's doing good. He's doing good, man. He stepped up. No one was really dependent on Alton Robinson, right? Everyone's focused on Darrell Taylor, the second-round pick out of Tennessee, but he has some things going on. So Alton to step up. He has 11 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 tackle for loss. I think Alton has done good. He had a sack against the Washington football team. Honestly, with rookies, especially on the D-line, I'll take 3 or 4 sacks any day of the week. Any day I will take 3 or 4 sacks. That's what he's given us. Reminds me of kind of like Rasheem Green. You know, Rasheem Green last year led the team with 4 sacks. I think Alton Robinson can follow the footsteps of Rasheem and just progress every single year. All right? This is from Duke. Duke, what does that say, man? Duke Raw 01. How will we beat the Rams? This is how you beat the Rams. All right? I got the recipe. You guys ready for this? How you beat the Rams? You put pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff does not want to get hit. He is not a tough guy. He doesn't say anything about his character. I don't know what he's like off the field, but Jared Goff does not want to get hit. He will release the football if guys are unblocked. If you have 5 linemen and the running back releases on a route, send 6, send 7. Put pressure on him. Make him make quick decisions. And I feel like you have to jam these receivers off the line of scrimmage. Got to jam them. Now, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. No denying that. You got a matchup coming up with Jayla Ramsey versus Dk Metcalf, round 2. What's DK going to do? All right. We'll see what he does. But I think Jalen is just a good corner. Don't forget, Darius Williams is on the other side too, man. This guy has 4 interceptions. That secondary is solid. You got Leonard Floyd at the linebacker position with 7.5 sacks. You got Aaron Donald leading the league with 12.5 sacks, 16.5 tackles for loss. So what do? You run at him. You get downhill. Forget this east-west stuff. I guess you have to do it every now and then to keep them honest, to set up your bootlegs and your rollouts. But get down south, get north-south right now and run that football. And then if these guys want to press you, if they want to walk up, be confident, because they should be confident and have a good defense. If they want to press you, receivers got to get off, and Russell, take a shot. Back shoulder. I think back shoulder is going to be the biggest throw of the game. I'm calling it right now. The biggest pass of this game on Sunday is going to be a back shoulder throw. Maybe to DK, maybe to Lockett, maybe to one of the receivers. I don't know. But because I feel like, and I've seen on film that this defense covers really well, back shoulder throw is going to be huge. And, of course, take care of the football. You cannot turn the football over against great defensive teams. Against any teams. You turn the football over, you have a chance. Just ask the Steelers last night against the Bengals. Okay? Another question is from Dump Truck. Will Carlos Hyde get more touches of the ball than Carson this week? I don't think he will. Chris Carson's the guy. How many touches did he have last week? Let's go back. I believe Chris Carson had like 12 to 14, something like that. Give me a second. I don't think so. I think Chris Carson is the guy. I think he's getting into his groove. He's starting to find a rhythm. Carlos Hyde had 2 touches. Let me see. I'm just pulling that. I remember that. Yeah. Carlos Hyde had 2 for 55. He did have a big run. Good for him. Helped the team. But no, your workhorse is Carlos Hyde. Your workhorse is Chris Carson. Chris Carson had 15 carries, 63 yards, averaging 4.2 a carry. I said it before. Football gods come down and say, look, we're going to give you 4.2 yards per carry. I say, you know what? I will run the ball every single time. Not every time because you got to throw it and keep them honest. But I will take that average, and it just looks and feels different. What I appreciate seeing was Rashad Penny, man. He only had 2 carries for 6 yards, but I saw him put pressure on that knee, cut back, try to get upfield. It's all about making sure he's comfortable out there. And I feel like as the season goes along, Rashad Penny is going to contribute. But to answer your question, no. Chris Carson need those touches. Need them. Okay, this is from Burroughs 84. Were you born in 84? I'm 85, man. Good things happen in the 80s. All right. I think they're going to be coming out on fire in the playoffs. Feel like they're using the games as practice, but excited to see Gordon come back. I was excited to see Gordon come back. Doesn't look like he's coming back. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. As soon as I get some information, I will share it with you guys, the public, the 12s, the people we care about. But it seems like he will not be ready to go on Sunday. I hope they come out on fire. They better come out on fire. This is a championship game. This is going to decide the division. And they know that. You know, Pete Carroll is going to preach, hey, we treat every game like it's a championship game. I get it. But this is actually a championship game. Let's go 12s. Let's go Hawks. Get it done. All right. What else we got? Dude, it's from Ben Day. Do you think KJ, Dixon, and Myers got snubbed from the Pro Bowl? Yes. For KJ, I do and I don't. I do because you look at his stats and they're not overwhelming. And that's what people are looking at. They're not like us. They don't see him play every single week. We don't appreciate him the way that we do. But KJ's had 2 solid years. Last year and this year, man. 2 solid years. I think he's getting us to be a Pro Bowler. But they're not going to put 2 linebackers in that thing. I think they've done it before, but I don't think they are. Dixon definitely did. 27 kicks inside the 10. A guy who got voted in front of him had 20 kicks inside the 10. I don't know what the heck people are looking at. Maybe the Aussie magic has disappeared when it comes to the national audience. But we know what Dixon has done. His first year, phenomenal. Second year, fell off a bit. Third year, he is back. Definitely got snubbed. Who was the other one? Myers, come on, man. How many consecutive kicks? 33, 34, something like that. You can always count on Myers. You need 3 points. Line him up. He'll knock it down. Inside 50 yards, we're good. Outside of 50, he's still Gucci. He's still gravy. I think Myers got snubbed as well. All right. Let me see. This is from Neo. Do you think the chances of Hawks getting the number 1 seed has increased since last week? It's definitely increased, but you need some help. You need Green Bay to lose. Who's Green Bay playing this week? Let's look them up. Green Bay needs to take an L. And they have the Titans this week. If there's a team that's going to beat them, it's the Titans. They play the Bears after this. I don't think the Bears are going to beat them. But imagine if they lose to the Titans and the Bears. If there's a team that's going to challenge them in the last 2 games, it is the Titans. They got a great run game with Henry over there. He should be in the talks about MVP, but they don't give him no respect. It's all about the quarterbacks. We know how that goes, right? A.J. Brown, great receiver over there who was a Pro Bowler for the Tennessee Titans. There's someone who's going to give them a run. It is the Titans, but they need some things to happen. They need Green Bay to lose both of these, I believe, and they need the Saints to lose another one, and then they need to beat the Rams. So you take care of business. We shall see. I'm not too worried about the number 1 seed, though. Yeah, you get a week off. Sounds good. You get healthy. You get to prepare. I get it. Just get into the playoffs. Win that NFC West. Get your mojo back. Get your swag back. That's what I'm concerned about, the mental health of this football team. They beat the Rams. Mental health is great. Then they go get the 49ers, all right? Control what you can control. That is this week against the Rams. All right, what else we got? John Forward. I think DK Mac apps can I don't understand what you're saying right there. My bad, John. Send that question again, John. Okay, this is from Felipe. What do you expect from Josh Gordon in the near future? I was expecting him to play this weekend, and honestly, I thought he was going to really help the team on third downs, because that's where the team was struggling, has been struggling. They were 5 for 12 on third downs. I just got off of the Bob and Wyman show. Wyman told me that's 42%. That's average. You want to be average. Let's get above average. They need Josh Gordon for third downs, third and shorts, and when you just want to run a slant, boom. We saw what he did last year for the Hawks on third downs. He was clutch on third downs. That's what he would have brought to the team, but it's not looking good for Josh Gordon. Okay? What else we got? What's up with David Moore? He seems off last few weeks. David Moore, he's a number 3 receiver. Number 3 receiver, you're going to get maybe 3 targets a game if you're lucky. And what I see in David Moore is he did drop a football on the sideline, I believe, fingertips. He ended up dropping it. Those are catches that you're used to seeing him make. What I think we're seeing with David Moore is that there have been a couple of plays that we're used to seeing him make, and he doesn't make them, and then he's done for the rest of the game because most of the targets are going to go to DK, Lockett, and then to your tight ends. Tight ends have been playing well lately. I don't think anything's off with him. I think he's playing like a number 3 receiver. I mean, we don't say anything when DK drops the ball, when Tyler drops the ball, but because it's David Moore, because you only see him so many times, his drops, his mistakes are amplified. I think he's okay. I think he'll be fine. But I also think Freddie Swain is breathing down his neck. I really do. Freddie Swain's been awesome this year. Hasn't done much, but when you do see him flash, it's big. Okay. What else we got? How much of an impact does Penny have these next 2 weeks? This week, I'm going to say he gets 3 carries. He got 2 last week, 3 this week. The longer this team plays, the bigger the impact Penny's going to have on this football team. Can't expect him just to come out and take snaps from Carlos Hyde, take snaps from Chris Carson. Doesn't work that way. You ride with your dogs who have been there. You throw a curveball every now and then. At this point, Rashad Penny is the curveball. 3 carries, I'm going to say. This week, 3 carries. 3 carries for 22 yards. 22. All right, I'm calling him. I'm going to look like a genius when this goes down. All right, 3 carries, 22 yards. I got time for one more question. One more. Come on. I'm all the way down at the bottom. I had to skip some questions because a lot of y'all are sending multiples, which I love. I mean, y'all are engaged. We're here. All right? No more questions. Going once. There's one. Felipe. Another one from Felipe. Okay. Do you think play calling seems lost sometimes, especially third, sometimes fourth down? Oh, man, that's a touchy subject. Okay, I think play calling is contingent on what a coordinator sees on film throughout the week. Now, he can only prepare for what he sees on film. Every week, a defense or an offense is going to come out there and give you something else that they haven't put on film. At least the good ones are going to do that. At this point, I feel like Schottenheimer feels like he doesn't have to be super aggressive. So to us, it seems like he took his foot off the pedal and he is just not really engaged with what's going on. No, this is what I think. I think they're playing more conservative. I think that they have 3 backs now that can run the football. I think that they are preparing themselves for the playoffs where you have to grind games out and slow it down. That's what I think. They still have big play potential, but at this point, I think they're figuring some things out. All right, Hawaii Cali Gal, what up? John Ford, what's up? Burrows84, no problem. I appreciate you guys tuning in. That is my 30 minutes, but I will be back on Thursday. And we're going to preview the Rams. I'm already watching film on these dudes. Hey, these guys are good. I know they lost against the Jets, but these guys are good to go. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Boom. Tune in on Thursday, 6 p.m. I'm your boy, Michael Bumpus. Big ups to our sponsor, Snoqualmie Casino, SNOcasino.com. Check them out. Love that place. Holla at you next time.